I was standing outside my father's office when I heard him laugh. Not the warm kind. The cruel kind that cuts through walls. Maya wants to work here. In my company. His voice carried down the hallway. She can barely handle community college. What makes her think she's CO material? His business partner chuckled. Kids these days have big dreams. Dreams without talent are just delusions, Dad said. She's not built for this world. Never will be. I was 17. I'd come to drop off his forgotten lunch. Instead, I got a lesson I'd never forget. My hands shook as I set the bag outside his door. I didn't knock. I didn't cry. I just walked back to my car and sat there for an hour. That night, I wrote 4 words in my journal. Watch me prove him wrong. I had no plan yet. No strategy. Just anger that burned so hot it kept me awake for days. The journey from that parking lot to his CEO chair took 12 years. This is that story. My father, Richard Chen, built Chen Industries from nothing. Import-export, manufacturing, tech investments. By the time I was born, we had money. Real money. My older brother Daniel was his golden child. Harvard MBA. Sharp suits. Dad's clone in every way that mattered. I was the accident baby. The daughter who came 10 years too late. Mom died when I was 6, so Dad raised us alone. Or rather, he raised Daniel. I just existed nearby. Every dinner was the same. Dad asked Daniel about business strategy. Daniel answered perfectly. Dad beamed with pride. Then Dad would glance at me. Maya, how's school? Good, I'd say. That's nice. Then back to Daniel. I learned early that love in our house was earned through achievement. And I wasn't achieving the right things. Daniel graduated top of his class. I graduated high school with B's and C's. Not because I was stupid. 'Cause I stopped trying when nobody noticed anyway. When Daniel joined the company at 25, Dad threw him a party. 200 people. Champagne. Speeches about legacy. When I turned 18, Dad handed me $500 and said, "Figure yourself out." I enrolled at Metro Community College because it was cheap and close. Dad didn't offer to pay. Said I needed to learn responsibility. Daniel got a company credit card and a car. I took the bus and worked nights at a grocery store. My business professor, Dr. Helen Martinez, changed everything. She was tiny, fierce, and saw something in me I'd never seen myself. One day after class she stopped me. "Maya, why are you hiding?" "I'm not hiding," I said. "Yes, you are. You sit in back. You never speak. But your papers." She held up my last essay. "These are better than most MBA theses I've read. What's your story?" I told her everything. About Dad. About Daniel. About feeling invisible. She listened without interrupting. Then she said, "You're going to transfer to State University Business School. I'm writing your recommendation. And you're going to stop letting your father define your worth." "He won't pay for it," I said. "Then we find another way." Thought she was being nice. I didn't know she meant it. Dr. Martinez connected me with a program for first-generation college students. Full scholarship to State University's Business School if I maintained a 3.5 GPA. Got in. Moved 2 hours away. Worked 30 hours a week at a campus bookstore. Studied until my eyes burned. I called Dad to tell him the news. "That's fine," he said. "Just don't expect any help from me. I'm investing in Daniel's MBA at Harvard. He's the future of this company." "I know," I said quietly. "Maya, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm being realistic. Not everyone is cut out for business. There's no shame in finding something simpler." I hung up and cried for an hour. Then I got angry. Really angry. That anger became fuel. Every time I wanted to quit, I remembered his voice. Not everyone is cut out for business. Became obsessed. Marketing. Finance. Operations. Strategy. I absorbed everything like my life depended on it. 'Cause it did. My professors started noticing. "You're different this semester," one said. "What changed?" "I stopped being nice to people who don't believe in me," I answered. Junior year, our class had a business plan competition. Real investors judging. $10,000 prize for the winner. I spent 3 months building my plan. A platform connecting small manufacturers with eco-conscious retailers. Cutting out middlemen. Reducing costs and waste. Daniel came home that same weekend. Dad invited me to dinner to see him. "So Maya," Daniel said. "Still in school?" "Yeah. Business school." He laughed. "Business school. You." Dad smiled into his wine. "She's trying her best." "I'm in a competition next week," I said quietly. "Business plan. 10 grand prize." "That's cute," Daniel said. "Like Shark Tank but for kids." I didn't respond. I just finished eating and left. Competition day, I wore my only professional outfit. A blazer from Goodwill. Pants I'd hemmed myself. I pitched for 15 minutes. Answered questions for 10 more. The judges' faces were unreadable. They announced winners that evening. 3rd place, some tech startup. 2nd place, an app idea. 1st place, me. I called Dr. Martinez first. She screamed into the phone. Called Dad second. He didn't answer. I used that $10,000 to start my company. Green Link Solutions. Just me, a laptop, and borrowed office space from Dr. Martinez's friend. I signed my first client 3 months later. A small factory in Ohio making recycled furniture. I connected them with 5 retailers. They tripled their revenue in 6 months. Word spread. More manufacturers. More retailers. More revenue. I graduated with honors. Didn't invite my family. They didn't ask about the ceremony. By 24, I had 15 employees and $2 million in annual revenue. Not huge, but real. And growing. I worked 18-hour days. Slept on my office couch sometimes. Ate ramen because I reinvested every dollar. One night, my assistant Jamie asked, "Why are you killing yourself over this?" "Because I have something to prove," I said. "To who?" "To everyone who said I couldn't." She nodded. "Just make sure you're building this for you too. Not just for them." I thought about that a lot. Was I doing this for me? Or just to show Dad he was wrong? Maybe both. Maybe that was okay. Green Link Solutions started getting attention. Trade magazines. Industry podcasts. A Forbes profile calling me the supply chain disruptor. I was 26. My company hit 10 million in revenue. We'd saved our partner manufacturers over 50 million in costs. That's when Dad's company noticed. Chen Industries had a whole division doing what I did. But slower. More expensive. Less efficient. I heard through industry contacts that they were losing clients to us. Big ones. Then Daniel called me. First time in 3 years. "Maya, hey. Long time." His voice was friendly. Too friendly. "Hey, Daniel. So, I've been hearing about your company. Impressive stuff. Really? Thanks. Listen, Dad and I were talking. Maybe we could collaborate. Merge our services. You'd maintain control of your division, of course." I almost laughed. "You want to absorb my company. That's not." "Daniel, I'm not interested. You don't even want to hear the offer." "No. Thanks for calling." Hung up. My hands were shaking. Not from fear. From satisfaction. They needed me now. After years of dismissing me, they finally saw what I'd built. And I'd said no. 6 months later, Business Weekly ran a feature story. How Maya Chen beat her father's empire at his own game. The journalist had done her homework. Interviewed clients. Reviewed financials. Even reached out to Chen Industries for comment. The article detailed how Green Link had taken 30% of Chen Industries' sustainable manufacturing clients in 2 years. It quoted me. "I learned business by watching what didn't work. Then I built something better." It quoted Daniel. "We're proud of Maya's success. Family businesses can coexist." It quoted Dad. No comment. The article went viral in business circles. My company website crashed from traffic. Investors started calling. One venture capital firm offered me $20 million for 30% equity. I took the meeting just to see. The partner, Susan Reed, was direct. You're solving a real problem. Your growth is sustainable. We want in. What's the catch? Yes. No catch. You keep control. We provide capital and connections. In 5 years, you could be worth $500 million. I thought about Dad saying I wasn't cut out for business. I'll think about it, I said. That night I couldn't sleep. This was bigger than revenge now. This was my life's work. My purpose. I accepted the deal 2 weeks later. With funding secured, Green Link exploded. We opened offices in 3 cities. Hired top talent from competitors, including 2 senior people from Chen Industries. My father's company was bleeding now. Their sustainable division lost 40% revenue in 1 year. Industry analysts started calling it the Chen Civil War. Father versus daughter. Old guard versus innovation. I ignored the headlines, focused on building. But Dad didn't ignore them. He started calling. I never answered. He sent emails. Maya, we should talk. This competition is hurting both of us. I never replied. Daniel showed up at my office one morning. Security called up. Your brother is here. Tell him I'm in meetings all day, I said. He says he'll wait. Then he'll be disappointed. Jamie looked at me. You okay? I'm fine. Just done wasting time on people who wasted mine. The satisfaction was quiet but deep. They wanted something from me now. And I didn't have to give it. For the first time in my life I had the power. And I wasn't going to use it for revenge. I was going to use it to keep building. When I turned 28, Green Link hit $50 million in annual revenue. We were preparing for a potential IPO. My board met quarterly. Serious people. Former CEOs. Investment experts. They respected me because I'd earned it. During one meeting, Susan brought up Chen Industries. Their stock is down 18%. Shareholders are getting nervous. There's talk of leadership changes. That's their problem, I said. Actually, it could be your opportunity, she continued. They're vulnerable. A strategic acquisition could eliminate your main competitor and double your market share overnight. I'm not interested in acquiring my father's company, I said. Why not? Business is business. Because I didn't build this to destroy him. I built this to prove I could. The room went quiet. Another board member, James, spoke carefully. Maya, personal feelings aside, this is a smart move financially. I understand. But I'm the CEO. And I'm saying no. They didn't push. They respected my decision. Because I'd earned that respect through results, not relationships. But the idea stayed with me. What would it feel like to own Dad's company? To walk into his office as the person in charge? Push the thought away. That wasn't why I started this. At least that's what I told myself. 3 months later everything changed. Chen Industries announced they were selling. Private equity firm. Hostile takeover rumors. Dad was being pushed out by shareholders tired of declining profits. The business news exploded. Legendary Richard Chen loses control of his own company. Felt strange reading it. Not happy. Not sad. Just complicated. Daniel called again. This time I answered. Maya. His voice was tired. I know you don't want to talk to me. What do you want, Daniel? Dad's company is being sold. Piece by piece. Everything he built. It's ending. Okay. That's it. Just okay. What do you want me to say? I want you to care. He's our father. This is destroying him. He destroyed me for years, Daniel. He told me I wasn't good enough. That I'd never make it. He was wrong. And now his business is failing because he refused to adapt. That's not my problem. You could save it. I laughed. Actually laughed. Save it. Why would I do that? Because you're the only one who can. You've built what he couldn't. You understand this industry now better than anyone. Daniel, he never believed in me. Never supported me. Never even asked about my work until I became competition. Why would I save him now? Silence. Then quietly. Because you're better than he is. Hung up. But his words stuck. Was I better than him? Or was I just his mirror image, holding a grudge forever? The private equity firm reached out directly. Thompson and Associates. Their senior partner wanted a meeting. We're acquiring Chen Industries. We know your history. We want to offer you something unique. I took the meeting out of curiosity. Marcus Thompson was blunt. We're restructuring Chen Industries completely. New leadership. New strategy. We want you as CEO. I stared at him. You want me to run my father's company? Correct. You've proven you understand this market. You've built a competitor that's outperforming them in every metric. You're the logical choice. Does my father know about this? Not yet. But he will. The board vote is next week. If you accept, you'll walk into that building as his new boss. The irony was perfect. Too perfect. What's the catch? No catch. You'd merge Greenlink with Chen Industries. Combine resources. Dominate the market. You'd own 35%. Be worth over 200 million personally. I should have felt triumphant. This was the ultimate revenge. The girl he said would never make it, becoming his CEO. But mostly I felt tired. I need time to think, I said. Take a week. But this offer expires then. Other candidates are interested. I left that meeting and drove for hours. No destination. Just driving. Was this what I wanted? Or was I still chasing his approval in a twisted way? I called Dr. Martinez. She was retired now but still answered my calls. Maya, my brilliant student. What's wrong? I explained everything. The offer. The history. The confusion. She listened quietly. Then, what do you actually want? I don't know anymore. Yes, you do. You're just afraid to say it. Silence. Then the truth came out. I want him to see what I built. I want him to understand he was wrong. I want him to feel what I felt. And then what? After he feels it, what happens? I don't know. Maya, revenge is sugar. It tastes sweet for a moment, then it's gone. What do you want that lasts? I thought about my company. My team. The manufacturers whose lives we'd changed. The real impact we'd made. I want to keep building. She was right. She was always right. Called Marcus the next day. I'll do it. On one condition. Name it. My father keeps his dignity. No public humiliation. He announces retirement. We announce transition. Clean and professional. Agreed. The board will appreciate that. 1 week later it was official. Maya Chen, CEO of Chen Industries. Effective immediately. I wore my best suit. Navy blue. The one I'd bought when Greenlink first hit 10 million. I arrived at Chen Industries at 7 a.m. The building I'd visited maybe 5 times in my entire life. Security recognized me. Ms. Chen. Welcome. Your office is ready on the top floor. Dad's old office. Oh mine. The elevator ride felt eternal. Floor a memory. Floor 3, where Daniel worked. Floor 7, where Dad had his first office when the company was smaller. Top floor. The doors opened. Marcus Thompson stood there. Ready. As I'll ever be. We walked past cubicles. Employees stared. Whispered. Everyone knew who I was. The daughter who'd competed against them. Now their new boss. The executive team waited in the conference room. Daniel sat at the table. Dad wasn't there. Good morning, I said calmly. I'm Maya Chen. I know this transition is unexpected. Here's what you need to know. I'm not here to destroy what my father built. I'm here to save it. I spent the next hour outlining my vision. Merging Greenlink's technology. Restructuring operations. Cutting waste. Growing revenue. They listened. Questions. By the end, even the skeptics looked cautiously optimistic. Daniel stayed after everyone left. That was impressive, he said quietly. Thanks. I'm sorry, Maya. For everything. For not standing up for you. For believing Dad when he said you wouldn't make it. I know. Can I still work here? I'll report to whoever you want. This is all I know. I looked at my brother. He looks smaller now. Humbler. You can stay. But you earn your position like everyone else. No more automatic promotions because of your last name. Fair enough. Dad didn't come to the office for 3 weeks. I didn't push. Then one evening security called. Mr. Richard Chen is here. He's asking to see you. My stomach tightened. Send him up. I stood by the window looking at the city, trying to stay calm. The door opened. Dad walked in slowly. He looked older, grayer, smaller somehow. Maya. His voice was rough. Dad. Silence. Heavy and long. I hear you're doing well, he finally said. The board is pleased. Stock is up 12% since you took over. We have a good team. More silence. He moved closer but didn't sit. I was wrong about you. The words came out stiff, forced, like pulling teeth. I didn't see what you were capable of. I'm sorry. I turned to face him. Do you mean that? Or are you just saying it because I won? He flinched. I mean it. Because for 28 years, you told me I wasn't good enough. You made me feel invisible. You invested everything in Daniel and nothing in me. You laughed when I said I wanted to work here. Do you remember that? I remember. So why should I believe your apology now? He looked down. I was afraid. Afraid of what? That you'd be like me. Obsessed, driven, sacrificing everything for success. I didn't want that life for you. So I pushed you away. Made you think you weren't capable. I thought I was protecting you. I laughed bitterly. By destroying my confidence. I was wrong. I see that now. I sat down. He sat across from me. You want to know the truth, Dad. You didn't protect me. You made me desperate to prove you wrong. Every late night, every risk I took, every time I pushed myself past exhaustion, that was because of you. Because I needed to show you I wasn't worthless. Maya. I'm not finished. I built something amazing. Not because of your support. Despite your rejection. And yeah, it feels good to sit in your chair. To run your company. To prove you wrong. But it also feels empty. Because the person I wanted to impress doesn't exist anymore. He stopped being my hero when I was 17. Dad's eyes filled with tears. I was never a hero, Maya. I was just a man who didn't know how to love without controlling. I know that now. Can you forgive me? Thought about it. Really thought about it. I don't know. Maybe someday. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Or pretending it didn't hurt. I understand. You can visit the office whenever you want. I'll even ask your opinion on things if you want. But Dad, this is my company now. My vision. My legacy. You don't get to take credit for it. He nodded slowly. I wouldn't dream of it. He stood to leave, then paused. For what it's worth, your mother would be proud. She always said you had something special. She did. Every day. She saw it before anyone else. He left. I sat in that office for an hour, crying for the first time in years. The next 6 months were intense. We merged operations, launched new services, expanded internationally. Chen Industries became the industry leader. Our revenue hit 300 million. We employed over 800 people. I hired aggressively. Young people. People from non-traditional backgrounds. People like I used to be. One day, a young woman named Sophia came to my office. She was nervous, holding her resume. Ms. Chen, I know I don't have experience. I'm from community college. But I learn fast, and I work harder than anyone. I saw myself in her eyes. That desperate hunger to prove something. You're hired, I said. Start Monday. Don't you want to see my resume? I've seen everything I need to see. Welcome to the team. She cried. Actually cried. Thank you. You don't know what this means. I know exactly what it means, I said. Now go prove everyone wrong. A year after becoming CEO, I was invited to speak at State University's business school graduation. Standing at that podium, looking at hundreds of students, I felt the weight of everything I'd been through. 10 years ago, I sat where you're sitting. Nobody believed I'd be here. Especially not my family. My father told me I wasn't smart enough. My brother laughed at my ambitions. I started with nothing but anger and a point to prove. The audience was silent, listening. Here's what I learned. Anger is rocket fuel. Gets you off the ground fast. But it burns out. You need something else to sustain you. Purpose, passion, pride in the work itself, not just proving people wrong. I looked at the young faces. So many reminded me of myself. Some of you have families who believe in you. That's beautiful. Cherish it. Some of you have families who don't. That's painful. But it doesn't define you. You define you. Applause started. Continued. I became CEO of my father's company. The ultimate revenge, right? But you know what? It wasn't revenge that made me successful. It was refusing to let someone else's doubt become my ceiling. It was working when nobody watched. Believing when nobody else did. Pause. Don't wait for permission to be great. Don't wait for approval. Just build something so undeniable that the doubters have no choice but to notice. Standing ovation. Students crying. Families cheering. Afterward, a girl approached me. I'm from community college too. Everyone says I'm not smart enough for this. I looked at her. Do you believe them? No. Then prove them wrong. Not for them. For you. She smiled. I saw hope in that smile. That made everything worth it. That night, alone in my apartment, I thought about the journey. From the girl in the parking lot, crying after hearing her father's cruelty, to the CEO managing a $300 million company. Was it worth it? The long nights, the sacrifices, the broken relationship with my family. I thought about Sophia, the girl I'd hired, about the speech, about the hundreds of people who now had jobs because of what I'd built. It was worth it, not because I'd beaten my father, but because I'd become someone I was proud of. Someone who lifted others up instead of tearing them down. Someone who built instead of destroyed. My phone buzzed. A text from Dad. Saw your speech online. Your mother would be so proud. I am too. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back. Thanks, Dad. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was a start. Maybe that's all healing ever is. Small starts. Tiny steps toward something better. 6 months later, an opportunity emerged. A struggling manufacturing company in Detroit. 300 employees facing layoffs. The owners wanted to sell. My team recommended against it. Too risky. Too expensive. Wrong market. But I visited the factory. Met the workers. Heard their stories. A single mother who'd worked there 15 years. A veteran trying to rebuild his life. Families depending on those jobs. I bought the company. Against everyone's advice. Why? My CFO asked. This doesn't make financial sense. Because 10 years ago nobody took a chance on me. I'm taking a chance on them. We restructured. Invested in new equipment. Retrained workers. Within a year that factory was profitable. Those 300 families kept their jobs. Kept their homes. Kept their dignity. That success mattered more than the profits. Proved business could be about more than just money. 2 years after becoming CEO, Dad invited me to dinner. Just us. Almost said no. But something made me go. We met at his house. The house I'd grown up in. Felt smaller now. He'd cooked. Badly, but he'd tried. I don't know how to do this, he said quietly. How to be your father without being your boss. Neither do I admitted. We ate in awkward silence for a while. Then he spoke. I'm proud of you, Maya. Not because you're successful, but because you're kind. You could have destroyed me. You had every right. But you didn't. I didn't do it for you, I said. I did it for me. I know. That makes it even better. We talked for hours. About Mom. about his regrets, about what he wished he'd done differently. "Can I ask you something?" he said finally. "Sure. Do you think you'll ever forgive me?" Thought carefully. "I'm trying. Some days are easier than others. But I'm trying. That's more than I deserve." "Yeah," I agreed. "It is." But something had shifted. The anger was fading. Not gone. Just quieter. Maybe that's what forgiveness looked like. Not a moment. Process. I started spending more time mentoring young professionals. Especially women. Especially people from backgrounds like mine. One mentee, Jessica, reminded me so much of myself it hurt. "My family says I'm wasting my time," she told me. "They want me to be practical. Get a safe job. Stop dreaming." "What do you want?" "Yes. I want to build something that matters." "Then do it." "But what if I fail?" "Then you fail." "But what if you don't? What if you're extraordinary and you never try because you're scared?" She started her company 6 months later. I invested personally. Mentored her weekly. 2 years later, her company was thriving. She sent me a message. "Thank you for believing in me when nobody else did." That message meant more than any business award. More than any profit report. Because that's legacy. Not money. Not titles. But the people you lift up along the way. 5 years after becoming CEO, the board approached me with news. Maya, Chen Industries is being courted by a major corporation. They want to acquire us. The offer is substantial. $3 billion. My personal share would be over $1 billion. I could retire at 33. Never work again. Travel. Rest. Finally breathe. "What do you think?" Marcus asked. I looked around the table. These people had supported me. Trusted me. Helped me build something real. "I think," I said slowly, "that we're not done yet. You're turning down $1 billion. I'm choosing purpose over profit. We've built something special here. Company that values people, not just profits. I'm not ready to hand that over to someone who might destroy it." The board was silent. Then Susan spoke. "I'd follow you anywhere, Maya." Others nodded. Same. We declined the offer. Kept building. Kept growing. Not because I had to. 'Cause I wanted to. That's when I knew I'd finally made it. Not when I proved my father wrong. But when I stopped caring about proving anyone anything. 10 years after starting Green Link Solutions, I stood in front of State University Business School again. This time to announce a $50 million scholarship fund. For students from community colleges. Students with big dreams and no support. "This fund is for the kids who are told they're not good enough," I said. "For the ones whose families don't believe in them. For the ones who have to prove themselves every single day." I looked at Dr. Martinez in the front row. She was crying. "A teacher once told me I was hiding." She was right. I was hiding from my potential because I was afraid of failing. She pulled me out of that hiding place and showed me I was capable of more than I imagined. Pause. "This scholarship is named for her. The Helen Martinez Fund for Future Leaders." The audience erupted. Dr. Martinez stood, hand over her heart. Afterward she hugged me tight. "You didn't have to do this." "Yes, I did. You saved my life. The least I can do is help save others." "I always knew you'd change the world," she whispered. "You already did," I said back. "I'm 35 now. Still CEO. Still building. Sometimes I sit in this office, the one that used to be my father's, and think about that 17-year-old girl in the parking lot. The one who heard her father say she'd never make it. If I could go back and tell her anything, I'd say this. He's wrong. And you'll prove it. Not to him. To yourself. The journey will be hard. You'll cry. You'll doubt. You'll want to quit. But you won't. Because you're stronger than his words. Stronger than his doubt. You'll build something beautiful. Not just a company. Life. Legacy. And one day you'll sit in his office, not with revenge in your heart, but with peace. Because you'll realize you didn't need his approval. You never did. You just needed your own. My phone rings. It's Dad. We talk weekly now.